It didn't go yet. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay, hello, how are you? So, host,
Good.
so you will be doing well. So today, as we have always intellectual and most powerful lady, and especially when you talk about the sounds and the talk, the conversation, and all that, Andrea Mason, all-time great, because you know that she has versatility in this context that she can talk to any topic. So, because we before that we have been talking to various topics, so today we are going to talk about the topic of education today. But before that, we have been talking about the different issues that most probably which is very much common in society around the world. We have been addressing, and a lot of people used to like the way we used to discuss various aspects of the different issues. How can we sort out? How the people can be become, how can they be healed out? How can they come out of the, chaos? And how you, I mean, especially Andrea Mason used to provide them some sort of a relief over there with the help of conversation, the dialogue, the way she used to address to the people. They're simply superb. Today, as we are going to talk about the word education, it's a quite vast topic in which we can have a plenty of ideas to share. There is a uniqueness around the world that every country has its own different diversity, at the same time different way of teaching. So here we're going to talk about everywhere the system of education is altogether different. A lot of people, young people, they are trying to go to abroad for study purpose, different from Africa, from Asia, from Australia, from all the continents. The people are, especially young students, they are shuffling from one country to another country. So here, Angie Wilson, I would like to ask this question that how can we equalize the education system around the world? Why there is a too much difference between the countries? Some of the countries, they are quite backward. They don't know about how to teach, even they don't know about the methodologies of teaching. They don't know about the pedagogies at the same time. So, what would you suggest to them that how they should handle this particular situation, and they can become the part of the same world?
Yes. Well, assalamu alaikum to everyone. Happy Ramadan. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Again, it's an honor to be here on this platform with you, Professor Mudassar. So, yes, I believe that we must modify and enhance the quality of education we provide around the world. Why? Because not everybody learns the same way. It's not a cookie cutter lifestyle or strategy to teach our young children, our youth, and our adolescents the same way. Everybody learns differently. I recently learned that there are multitude ways of learning, whether it's based on hands on, it's based on observation, reading a textbook, learning from experience, being out in nature, listening, and reading. And I think the way that we have to really learn about how to educate our generations around the world, our future generations who will be taking care of us, is learning about their lesson on how they learn, getting to understand our students. What are their passions? What are their modalities of learning, that get them excited about learning? A lot of individuals and students I know in other countries, I've been spoken globally, are eager to learn. And here in America, everything is kind of instant gratification. What do I mean by that? They have a laptop or accessibility to a screen. So I think we have to be creative and innovative in our teaching styles to our populations, because everybody learns differently. If we find the passions of our students, what they like, then we can adjust our teaching styles. Back to you.
Yes, definitely. So, in this way, my question to you in this context that, around the world, the teachers community especially, they have a different style of teaching. So they adopt whatever their traditional, background they have. Most probably, what is being how it is being taught, because their forefathers used to teach in the traditional method in the same way. So they have been teaching, and they feel that they are quite happy in this context, but they cannot fulfill the criteria around the world. So what they should need to do in that particular aspect, that's most probably they don't want to even left those things. They cannot follow, they are not ready to follow the latest modern techniques, latest methodologies that they should adopt. adopt, but they're just trying to follow their old traditions, old belief. What things make people are, I mean, here, a lot of people are over there around the world, then can guide them that here you need to do this. What do you think that there should be there is any world society who is dealing something based on education, whom they can provide them the equal opportunities around the world, and there should be a trainings around the world, around the globe, here in this universe. There should be a teaching mechanism, there should be training of the teachers around the world equally. What do you think about it?
I think it really comes down to understanding your audience. What was the reason you got into teaching? What was the reason you got into the subject that you're going to educate our younger generations about? And then learning a style and tactic that is palatable, which I mean adaptable by, cross generations as well as cultural differences around the world. If you think about it, when we educate our younger generations, we're teaching them lessons. Some are lessons from personal experiences, other lessons are the teachings and traditions of our ancestries and cultures. But at the same time, I think we need to level up the reflective understanding of the students. Do they really truly comprehend? It's one thing to teach someone something, but it's another to make sure that they understand it, they can apply it, and then they can master it as well.
Yes, because being a teacher, because I'm a teacher, so I've been teaching a specialist here in this department for last 10 years or so. So I have
Mhm.
learned different techniques, most probably which is being applied around the world. But here
Mhm.
I'm ready to accept what is being taught in different areas. So we shouldn't, because the world has become a global village where
Yes.
everyone just wants to change the mindset of the teachers, that here we need to adopt this technique. Here the students can easily understand the things, because this thing, in this way they will be able to understand the idea. Because if you want to compete the world, if you want to go for higher study, it may look like that you are participating in a true way. Here as I feel that being a teacher, equal opportunities, at the same time equal way of teaching should be provided to the students, so that they may not feel deprived, that at least they know about each and everything regarding the learning mechanism. Because they, in this way, they can just get some sort of knowledge, information, and they can compete. Otherwise they are far behind, they can't compete. Especially if you talk about Africans, so if you talk about Australians, if you talk about Americans, if you talk about Australians, all the totally mechanism of teaching is altogether different. Here we you need to combine all of them and just make them a one syllabus for them, so that they may follow that these are the syllabus and you need to follow, and ultimately they will be in the right way. Hey, you want to say something?
Yes, no, absolutely. And I truly believe too, it's a collaboration globally. What is our intention? Where is our attention going on the subject matters that we are going to teach, to make it universal so everyone is on the same page, whether it's use of technology, but we also have to keep in mind the available resources to the different regions. Sometimes there's a limited amount of resources for those schools, those populations, and those entities. So, what I feel is really beneficial is such events such as this, as a virtual global platform, to educate them, to reach out to those resources and entities and say, what does your school need? What resources can you embellish that you can share with us that is accessible, virtually to their students? Because what happens is people in Africa and Asia and Australia may have limited resources or stability, if you will, as far as the technology, as opposed to those of European and American, regions, because it's truly important. If you don't have the resources to gain the level of education of equality, the level of education unitedly across the world, then yes, there is going to be a level of fallback or area of improvement that some students won't benefit from, and we have to be mindful of that. So I believe a mastermind, or I believe collaborating with individuals worldwide and learning their techniques, because I know in the Eastern culture, they do meditation, they do other opportunities where they have the ability to go out into nature and really have hands-on experience how to cultivate their, cuisine for their families, how they can learn and follow their patriarchs or matriarchs in the industries of business and continue that lineage in that industry. So we need, not only do we need to be mindful of our own resources in our country and our culture, but expand it worldwide and be open to accept and learn different, styles of teaching abroad. Because again, if you have an individual who is from a certain country and culture and they relocate, we want to make sure that they're well equipped and not at a disadvantage traveling abroad, whether they're teaching or being a student. Back to you.
Yes, but I feel that being a teacher, that there should be organization around the world, which
Yes.
should need to have a check and balance on the things that they, as you in the whole world, there is a international monitoring fund. Especially they are providing assistance, but they are providing the loan to the countries who are deprived and they are just trying to cope up the situation. They are economic depression is there. So the same as feel that a lot of in the whole world, when we take example of the whole world, so there should be an organization that they should try to create a equal harmony around the
Hmm.
world, that here
Yes.
you have equal opportunities around the world, that you can attain the same level of education. Because why the people are being deprived, why they can't take part in the same race? So because
Hmm.
they don't have resources. So definitely I feel that if there is a UNO type or there is any organization around the world, it is definitely they should take steps. If it is not, so steps should be taken to remove depravity around the world. So in this
Hmm.
way, the world would grow and grow faster, and there will be a healthier competition. It is not somewhat like a competes to any nation. It is something healthier competition, and in this way, what will happen? Definitely, there will be elimination of overpopulation at the same time,
Hmm.
corruption at the same time, different issues, social issues which are being hovering in the different countries, at the same time, element of terrorism. If you put them on the right track, definitely they won't become a terrorist. If you put them, just guide them, here you need to do this, definitely they will be on the right track. So here the things, were especially here, and if you ever give the example of Pakistani people, so if they are having some money, so they are trying to move to UK, America, Canada, or the
Hmm.
European country to get a higher education. But
Yes.
those people who don't have much money for higher education, they're just working here, they're studying over here, and they are also, doing whatever they want. If they got some good job, so they're working. So, but if any person have some money, so definitely they try to utilize it and get some higher education, and after completion their degree, they come back and just to serve the country as it should be. They just tell them, at different universities here where I'm working. So there are the different PhD doctors who have studied abroad, who have studied from America, Canada, Australia, at the same time UK. So they have studied, and whatever the outcome, that the things that they have learned from there, mean methodology, that way with that teaching methods, at the same time different techniques that most probably which are applied meanwhile teaching, they are trying to follow, they are trying to teach in the same way. Because after a lot of doctors right now, they are over here
Hmm.
to follow the latest techniques which are being applied around the world, and they are also trying to even though trying to teach the students that here you should need to follow these grounds, and ultimately you will be in the right track. So
No.
because if you want to take the admission there in the universities around the world, you will have to follow the right track, the way it should be taught. I'm just telling you that these are the things here you need to follow, and ultimately you're in the right way. If you want to compete around the world, definitely you need to apply these things. You need to follow these things. If you want to study your own ways as you've been studying before, so you will be back behind. So what would you like to say in this context?
Yes, no, absolutely. I believe that, every an individual on this world has an opportunity and should be granted the opportunity to education. regardless of what level that is. They should have the opportunity to travel abroad as well as gain as much knowledge as possible, because what is happening is that it's the individuals who have the financial funding, the financial stability, the ability to travel, that are getting the higher ups in, level of education and learning and teaching, where the other ones who are eager to learn have limited resources. And everything is accessible to us nowadays by the touch of a screen, whether it's a laptop, a television, your cell phone or whatever. And everything is limited. And so we need to restructure the formalities of education, because what is being taught in some schools is not applicable in the really day life. I realized in today's generation, now they are learning about financial stability. Now they are learning the abilities to what it means to have financial structure, as well as taking care of their mental health. These are lost subjects that need to be implemented for individuals, whether it's regards to mental health, financial stability, familial structure, and what your role is in your community, country, and continent. Because I think what is being lost is the ability of the individuals embellishing on the areas of improvement in conjunction with the areas of strength. And when you have individuals, I know several people who have studied abroad. I know other individuals who have traveled to not only study abroad, but teach abroad. And I just want to take a quick moment to recognize those watching. Ali and Rashawn, thank you for your support. Like this and share it, because this is really pertinent for our future generations of individuals who are educating. Our young individuals nowadays are being raised by screens outside of the three-dimensional classroom. So what they may learn in school may be contradicting to what they're learning online, or what they have accessibility to. And nowadays, I know, at least if we're in the States, there's two parental figures or guardians that are working two or three jobs, that kids are raising kids, or screens are raising kids. So we really need to adjust and adapt our ability for the educational pathway to our children, younger generations, and those adults going back to get their degrees, and going into the forefront of finding the ability to formulate, pardon me, the way that we are learning. What is it that the individuals can benefit from learning, and really start it at the basics? Are we educating our younger generation and populations to not only care for their elders and community, but are they being equipped with the substantial qualities and responsibilities they need to survive on their own? I'm talking about personal hygiene. I'm talking about mental health and wellness. I'm talking about nutritional lifestyles. I'm talking about financial security and stability, what it means to utilize cash as opposed to credit, what it means to save to become independent, what it means to learn how to invest, not only financially, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually within themselves. Back to you.
Yes, truly elaborated the opinion method. The same way I was thinking that the world should need to do this, that have these steps should be have world should have taken. So especially different countries, you need to they should need to take these steps, and ultimately on the right way. Because overall, if you are just because here, if I want to learn the lesson, I can just search on Google or somewhere on YouTube. There are a variety of lectures which are over there. But the thing is that if you want to learn somehow in front of the teacher, there you can ask different questions, and at the same time you can have your various aspects which you in this way we learn a lot of things. At the same time, after the completion of their course, even though they should come back, and a lot of people are just coming back and after the completion of the degrees. But still, I feel that world should open their heart, because here a lot of developed countries, they are not opening the heart regarding this. They are not ready to accept, because a lot of people, the young people, they want to get education, but there are different barriers which are occurring. Even though they are just providing a healthy statement, financial stability, they are trying to make it, and they're showing that he's a true student, but still the visa issue is not being accepted. Especially when overall UK, they are providing visas here from the to the Asians, but whereas we talk about Americans, Canadian, an Australian visa ratio is less, because they are, probing into the things. Even though a lot of students, they are truly mature students, they really want to learn something. They are over there to get the degree, but the thing is that they are not ready to accept that they will go back to their homeland and the south, because a lot of them feel that there is instability. Therefore, they just want to quit this world, quit the country, and therefore they won't back. So in this way, a lot of issues, world is, especially, developing countries are facing. So I feel that this, I think exploitation should be minimized in this way, that at least equal opportunities should be provided. Don't try to blame that this student will come back, go back. So a lot of, limitations are, hurdles, barriers being applied. So in this way, a lot of students who are truly want to study higher, but they become, disappointed, they are unable to get here. I still remember that I have seen a lot of Africans, a lot of other, from Turkey, from Azerbaijan, and the other part of the world, even say from Sri Lanka. Different students, they used to get study here in Pakistan. Here we have a university, agriculture university. So where I have seen a lot of foreigners from the other part, even from the Europe, a lot of foreigners used to study over there, because there was a university. So you students used to get education there. But these days, a lot of Pakistani, they just want to go to the other part of the world. They want to get higher education, but restrictions and limitations are applied. So whereas I just want to recommend, especially those higher authorities, at the same time, embassies, at the same time, they should try to show leniency. They should be lenient in this context, that so that the students get education. They should be given equal opportunities, so that they may also get the education. Don't try to show that here you need to show 2 millions, 3 millions, then you can go, otherwise you can't. You have to put that 3 millions in your account for 4 or 5 months, and then you have to show that you have such a money, so that while going there, you can easily survive and all that. But still, a lot of complications. They go for IELTS, because I, being an IELTS teacher, I feel that a lot of students, they are doing IELTS. They're
Mhm.
just saying that here I need to get 7 bands in IELTS. I need to get 6.5. This is my requirement. So please fulfill this requirement. Just when they come to me, I just try to give them, assure them that definitely you will be able to succeed in attaining 7 bands. But still, after completion, after attaining 7 bands, still they are not sure that they can get a visa, because visa ratio is declined. So therefore, they are not in this position to go, even though they are also trying to fulfill their all requirements. But still,
Mhm.
issues are over there. So what would you say about this?
No, absolutely. And I want to welcome Rafiq as well as Stacy. It is really important that we also get the mindset not only of the students, but on the other side of the desk, if you will, pun intended, of the teachers. Do they feel that they are well equipped? Do they feel that they are respected and understood in providing the information to these children and these students that are of adequate value? What do I mean by that? Do they have the ability to innovate and create and take the opportunity to share their personal experiences of their tenure being an educator? And do they have the resources where they can stand up and say, you know what? This is how the school or organization is teaching, but I have more to give. I have personal experiences to share. I have real life experiences that can embellish and really attract the emotions of the students on how they can advance. And yes, there is difficult limitations anywhere you go with regards to education, getting visas, studying abroad, understanding the language, understanding and respecting the culture. But I believe that, the more and more we communicate effectively, the more and more we enhance our quality of education. What are we really wanting to teach our future generations? What is the legacy that they want to lead with? And how are we doing that as educators and facilitators in a profound manner that will not only enhance their quality of life, but also allow them to feel competent, to feel competent, to feel educated, intellectual, as well as emotional, to really step out in the world and really say, hey, you know what? This teacher inspired me. How many individuals out there can remember a professor, a teacher that really put impact upon their life? I was at an event the other evening and they were talking, it was a band event, and the facilitator had was doing his speech and said, you know what, I'm so grateful at the NFL that this particular player reminded himself of his band teacher who taught him discipline, stability, emotional balance, and so forth. So I want, if you guys are watching, share this out because this is a pertinent topic. This is the topic of education, hiring education to those individuals who are less fortunate or have limited funds to expand their knowledge in an effective manner. Name a teacher that has an impact upon you. Name an influencer that you can go to and said, you know what, that educator had really made a mark on my life and had impact. I can think of my first grade teacher, and she had stated to me that, you know, you are special. You have, you know, the world is yours. You can make it what you have. And for those of you who know, I am an alumna of Les Brown, and he said 11 pounds of greatness. It is, they didn't know then, but they know yet. Thank you, Stacy. Mr. Fritz. Yes. And I'm not sure if that's the same Mr. Fritz as Kobe Bryant or Mr. Fitz, I think he said it was. It's that, you know, he quotes, paraphrased, of course. He's like, you know, oh, now it's going out of my head. You know, as you, I'm going to paraphrase it so you can look it up, but Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, the American basketball player, African American basketball player, said, Mr. Fitz, he says, don't stop in the middle. Don't stop in the middle. Stop, you know, celebrating the end. Something along those lines, pardon me. But this is what it's about. It's about embracing journey, embracing your educational background. Because I've had some teachers and professors where they've lost their luster in teaching. They have lost their passion and it became dictation or lecture and it wasn't immersive. And that's what I do as a coach, as a speaker. I really want to make sure that everybody I'm impacting, influences, is getting inspired. You know, and Stacy, I welcome you to put in the chat, and I'll see if I can post it of Mr. Fritz. What was his teaching upon your life? You know, Professor Mudassar, while we're waiting for Stacy, if she's willing and ready to respond, what is an impact that a student came up to you and said, Professor, you had an impact in my life for such and such? Share that while we're waiting for the response.
Yes, definitely. I feel player and privileged regarding this. That definitely someone whom I have taught. Definitely, he is just praising for that. He's not, because there is no person in the world that who can praise you unnecessarily. The world is over there who really provide them the assistance, the access to the education according to the standard. Definitely, the word praise to those people, and especially those teachers. There are, I have seen a lot of teachers, if if some students may ask some questions to them, they started to feel started to stare to them that why you asking this question, I'm just, let me finish and then you can ask. But still, a lot of teachers, they rebuke the students, they that scold them that don't interrupt me, I'm just teaching, and don't interrupt me, otherwise I will put you out of the class, I will just make you out of the class.
Mhm.
So in this way, different, I feel that being a teacher, you should be quite, accepted. Need to accept every student, every individual student's mindset. But being a teacher, role of a teacher is to perform. Perform to what? Just he's performing like an actor. He's just doing performing an actor. He's just on the stage, and the audience are in the form of a students. They are just listening you, they are just observing you, they are just copying you, they are they are completely focused on you, that what are you teaching. So if you
Mhm.
don't know about the methodology of the teaching, so definitely they will, while coming out of the class, the students would get together and say, this professor don't know how to teach.
Right.
This professor is just no wastage of time. This professor is
Mhm.
just, whenever he comes in the class, we started to sleep.
Yes.
I want to sleep because
Yes.
I don't know what he is teaching. Because there are some teachers who teach only for themselves. They feel that this is my a lecture. I have to write on the whiteboard, and that my duty ends, without just making them understand that here you need to make them understand. You have whatever you have written on the whiteboard, you need to explain them. You need to make them understand that you need to put you need to be contacted, eye contact to each and every student. You need to
Yes.
ask the students whether you got the idea or not, whether you have
Mhm.
your understanding of the thing or not. You need to go to the personally to the students, ask them whether you got the thing, whether you if you're feeling facing any issue regarding this, you may ask. But here we are started to scold them, started to punish even, that you are just teasing me, you are trying to create a disturbance, go out of the class, and definitely I don't let you to sit in the class because you're
Right.
creating a disturbance. In this way, a lot of students get rebelled. They
Yes.
they feel that here my purpose is not just to, because but it is up to the teacher to make
Hmm.
them understand that here you are over here for the learning purpose. If you would
Yes.
try to create disturbance, so there will be loss of the students as well. So it is up to the role of a teacher that he should make them understand here you need to do the right act. The first thing I feel that being a teacher, if you have prepared your lecture correctly, if you know how to teach properly, I feel
Right.
that the students would be quite focused. There should be pin drop silence. They would be following you, like the way they should need to learn. But if you are
Absolutely.
teaching, even though you don't know what you're teaching, so definitely there will be disturbance in the class. The students will be creating a noise at the same time, different issues they can face. So whereas being a teacher, I personally feel that when I teach at school, like Divisional Public School in College Faisalabad, when I teach over there, so I have made different stance to teach to that. I teach to the students according to their level. I go to the level and started to teach the way they can easily understand. Whereas when I teach at university, my methodology of teaching changes at certainly,
Yeah.
because when I'm teaching to
Absolutely.
the higher classes at BS level, master's level, I have my different stance of teaching. I know that the students are mature enough, so I have to teach the students according to their level. So a role of a teacher is to make them understand that here
Yeah.
I should need to understand that here I feel that this class is of a master's and this class is of a 9th grade or 10th grade, or first year students or second year students. So I would teach to the students according to their standard, according to the level. Not going to show that you're having this type of knowledge and the knowledge of extreme, beyond physical nature, which those people don't. So whereas I feel that the world should need to try to promote education and try the equal facilities to around the world, so that the students around the world may get equal treatment, equal chances, so that they can. I feel that if there will be equal chances, there will be no issues around the world. There will be peace
Yes.
and harmony around in the world. If there will be discrimination, there will
Mm.
be terrorism, there will be suicide attackers, there will be bombers, so there will be chaos around the world. But
Yes.
if there will be equal opportunities, if there will be progress, there will be everywhere there will be a success around the world. So definitely the people will start trying to become happier and healthier, and play a pivotal role in the world contribution. So in
Absolutely.
this way,
And
what your
oh, we
yes,
lost
what's your
you.
opinion?
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. And I agree. And thank you, Stacy, for chiming in. So Stacy says, Mr. Fritz taught us how to be accountable. You know, I'm a woman of accountability for our finances and become homeowners. And then she states that he was a mathematician, a mathematics teacher. Yes, absolutely. And this is what it's about. This is what Professor Madassar, she and myself say. Have the passion. and know your audience. I'm going to talk differently to adults, to children, to people who have, limited funds, to people who are affluent. You have to know your audience, but you also have to be mindful. It comes from passion and purity. And what happens is that I think some individuals, when they come to a point in their career and see the light at the end of the tunnel, my tenure, my retirement is coming, some, not all, lose their passion for teaching. And when we're teaching, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Your first caregivers, whether it's your parents, your grandparents, your aunt or uncle, or whomever, those are your first teachers. Are you adapting and adopting the understanding of your students? Are you being passionate? I remember some of the most immersive lessons that I've learned was hands-on, engaging the energy, the frequency of Teachers Day. Now, I'm not going to say that this day and age, with the change of the world, teachers have it easy. A lot of logistics have changed. A lot of distances and dynamics and formalities have arose. But at the same token, that shouldn't dismiss your passion for learning and your passion for teaching. And what you said, Professor Mudassar, is that you were able to engage with your students. If the students are falling asleep in your class, you need to modify it, you need to tweak it. If there's a class of 25 or 50, you make sure that your lessons are heard in the back of the classroom, making sure that each individual is a student of yours. And then people say, well, Andrea, if I have a classroom of 100, how can I articulate and get to each individual? Just by smiling, showing up, being there and attentive and intentional, that the classroom setting doesn't have to be a disciplinary act. Now, do I mean that there shouldn't be structure, there shouldn't be respect, there shouldn't be understanding? Of course, that's top and foremost. Integrity, responsibility, accountability, validity, and value. However, these are young minds, or the minds who are eager to be motivated and to have a message and mission. How are you connecting with your professors? Not even in the classroom, education for adults. Are you communicating with your coaches, understanding that, hey, I've made a financial investment, I've made a time investment to learn from you? Am I getting the value? Am I getting my full 100% investment? And am I, as a student, being attentive, being mindful, being respectful? I have spoken globally on every continent, and I have learned that three things in the world that individuals want: respect, unconditional love, and to be understood. And if you don't have those three things, your future is going to be very slim. Your mindset is going to be minimal, and your motivation is going to be non existent. And I think we need to communicate effectively. Leaders of the world, reach out and expand, even if it's in your hometown, your state, your county, across the borders, across the waters. Learn different techniques. Education needs to be updated, current, and accessible to all. How are we making that progress towards that success? Back to you, Professor.
Yes, in this way, I would like to quote an example in this way that being a teacher at when it's teaching at university, a lot of students they are very horrified by that. Whatever I have to teach, I have to take the exam. I have to test the exam. I have to grade them whether they are on the following A grade, B grade, or C grade. The students are not creating any sort of disturbance because they are worried that if we will create a disturbance in the class, the teacher would fail us. Teacher would give us a D grade or C grade. So in this way, if you want to get good marks, so you will have to be silent, you be motivated. The teacher is teaching, but there are when you're teaching at 9th, 10th grade, you have a different approach. But because at grade 9th and 10th, that is a board examination. At board examination, you are free from that. You just need to guide them. You need to provide them coaching. So in this way, the students have different stance. But when the marks are in your hand, the
Mhm.
students are worried. They would not ask you any sort of question which annoyed you. They would ask
Mhm.
you that, yes, we should not ask this question to the professor, because if we would ask this question to the professor, he would get annoyed and definitely he would
Mhm.
give us a D grade or fail us. In this way, they are So I feel that if the teacher is on that level, I feel that he's not a teacher. He is not a truly teacher. He is just showing what the power he's having. Because my parents were teachers. My mother was government teacher. My father was
Mhm.
a government teacher. I have studied from them, even though I learned English subject at sixth grade, and later
Mhm.
on in the sixth grade, seventh grade, and eighth grade. Before that, I haven't studied about English. We used to study our own, mathematics, science, and other subjects, Urdu and other subjects we used to deal. But when I was over there, my father used to teach me the way as rest of the students they are teaching. Never ever discriminate that whether you are my son, so I would have to teach you in a different way, whereas rest of the students, they are being taught in a different way. Equally treatment was done. My mother, she was also a teacher, so she also used to teach in the same way. So if you are
Mhm.
loyal, if you want to establish your credibility in the world, so then
Mhm.
definitely you would have to show your 100% in teaching. If you need to learn the teaching methodologies, if you want to show your existence in teaching, so you should have to tell the students that you should have to motivate the students. You should need to know about the you're teaching latest teaching techniques through which you
Right.
can make them understand, realize them that you can teach. You are the person, like need to motivate the students, not students, around the people, around the globe. I mean, I have seen the different lectures that you guide them. A lot of people
Right.
they're just trying to get some sort of like a healing treatment for them. So I feel that when you deliver lectures, even though some of the lectures I have in solo lectures, most probably when you used to address to the audience, so your conversation, I'm not just showing like buttering or something, like your conversation truly go into the deep
Yeah.
down and started to
Right.
make meditate them that really I should need to follow the way you're really teaching, the way you're also teaching the world, not teaching the one class or one in classroom. You are teaching the world. You are teaching the
Yeah.
continents. You are teaching the countries. So in this way, your I would say remarkable deliverance, lectures, the motivations, the dialogues. It's superb. A lot of people really follow here in Pakistan. So a lot of, even though I was teaching IELTS class, so because when I used to go on Facebook Live, so she was saying to me, sir, when you are going to get online again with the Madam Andrea Mason, because we want to listen her again. So I said, yes, that today you can listen here
Yeah.
on Facebook Live. So she replied
Yes.
that her conversation is truly, her accent and deliverance is superb. A lot of foreigners they speak too much fluently that they're unable to get what they are speaking. So they are speaking too
Mhm.
much, fluently, that we are unable to understand, unable to understand what they are saying. So, but she is, when she speaks, every word is being followed, and we know about the meaning of each and every word. Whereas a lot of foreigners whom you have been trying to conversate, whom you are going to address, they are speaking. Few of them they were speaking too much fluently that we are unable to get what what they mean, what they're trying to deliver. So it is not somewhat like because you are in front of me, I'm just saying. So this is a mean whatever I if I receive the message, I'm just sharing with you that this is the thing that word loves you in this context. The word want to listen to you. Really, the thing is that a lot of audience around the world, whether they're from Africa, whether they're from Australia, whether they're from America, from
Mhm.
UK, from Asia, a lot of audience here. If you are connected with me, a lot of Indians, they are in my Facebook friend list. A lot of Bangladeshi, they are in my friend list. A lot of from UK, there are a lot of my students who are studying at UK, so they are also in my friend list. So there, your voice is going around the world. around the globe, around the
Well,
continents. So it's truly, well descriptive, the way I have described. So, madam, at the end, the message that you would like to, and ending remarks that you would like to conclude this topic.
well, first, yeah, well, thank you so much, Professor Mudassar. Yes, and hello to everybody that is watching. Muhammad, Adam, Amy, Stacy, Rafika. Thank you so much. It's really a point where we are looking at a world now with accessibility to, you know, really close the gap of diversity. That is my mission. I've been speaking on platforms virtually and expanding my audience, and my mission is to carry out the legacy of transformity, unity, rise and unite. And it's really important that I want to everybody to understand that not everybody is learning, and what I'm learning is the world is becoming divided even more and more. We're not being mindful of mental health. We're not being mindful of socioeconomic status. We're not being mindful of the upbringing of individuals. And it's really important that we make the difference. We make that change. And the change that I am aiming towards is, as I'm bringing the world together, as I'm speaking on different platforms and traveling abroad, is to really understand that everyone globally really truly wants to learn. Everyone globally really wants to connect in some sort of way. Everybody wants that opportunity, that equal opportunity to have their voice be heard. I can't tell you how many different times, and what I'm speaking to different schools and, communities, corporations is, when you're teaching, go outside of your comfort zone and teach in Trinity. What do I mean by that? Teach where you have the engagement of conversation, lecture, dictation, but be immersive, animative, and energetic. Number two, have that tactile information where it's able to be taken home, shared with the family. You have a text, you have a printout, you have an email, you have a PowerPoint or slideshow, so you can share it with other individuals. And thirdly, having the ability to have that outsource, have that resource abroad to really learn. And Mudassar, you have actually been on, bringing the world together with Andrea Mason, where I'm taking global pillars, kings, queens, professors, doctors who are actually of great stature within their communities, their countries, and their continents, and bringing them to the world, because that's impact. I talk about press play, plan life according to you, LLC, because life is a game. You can either be a player or a spectator, and it's how immersed you want to get involved. Rian Ala Awala, they have helped me immensely. He has helped me connect with people abroad and speak all over the world. The African Portal, radio and international TV. They have had me on TV and radio. And I'm bringing it back to the areas of the States and abroad, because I truly believe every single person that you watch, you listen to, you connect with is a teacher in their own way. And what I love what you said, Professor Madassar, is that every connection can be for a reason, a season, or for life. It's what you choose. And the other entities must respect that. There's a time and place for everything. And what's beautiful about what our segment talks about, world education, enhancing the quality of life, eliminating diversity, and bringing forth unity, is that what you learn today, the individuals who've commented, Muhammad, Adam, Stacy, Amy, Ali, and the ones who will watch this on playback, still comment with us, because we're going to keep bringing value to you. We are going to keep expanding our network, expanding our projects, and expanding our hands, our connections worldwide. To educate you, it starts with you in your home. What are the values, morals, ethics that you're teaching at home that you can pass on to your children? pass on to your spouse, pass on to your family. So when they leave your home, it's another rippling effect of education that you can share with the world. Back to you.
Okay, no, very nicely elaborated. I hope so. A lot of audience who were connected with us, they got the inside idea about the word education. How
Yeah.
beautifully she has elaborated all those aspects, all those main questions which I highlighted, and most probably because she's representing word over here, and she's truly know about the different experiences around the world. At the same time, whatever the exposure I have, I also shared here in this StreamYard program. So hope so that you might like the whole conversation. You
Yeah.
must need to got some idea. The inside, the crux of the whole conversation was to provide the equal opportunities to the so that they may get together, grow together, and be the part of this universe equally.
Yes.
So, ending, I would like to say thank you all the listeners who were stay connected and they were just listening this program, watching this program, and got some valuable information from the discussion. So hope so we'll be here online again on a different topic. So see
Yes.
you till then. Goodbye from my
Yes.
side, Mudassar and Madam Andrea Messin. So thank
Yes.
you, Madam.
Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Assalamu alaikum, Professor Mudassar. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with new topics. And I am actually just looked at the time. So pardon me. I have connections the rest of the day. So thank you so much. Remember, follow your heart, not the herd nor the hurt. And Professor Mudassar and myself will be giving you amazing content worldwide. Thank you for tuning in. And for those, share this out for the playback, and we'll see you real soon.
Thank you very much. Goodbye to all of you. Stay blessed.